Python has a very interesting feature called list comprehension, which is basically an elegant and interesting way to define and create new lists. If you're using Python for data analytics, you'll come across list comprehension really often, and it's important that you understand what exactly is going on. List comprehension allows you to generate a list of numbers from another list of numbers. Let's say we have a list that looks like what you see on screen, some numbers. And let's say we want a list which contains the squares of every individual number that you see on screen. You could have used a lambda to generate the list of squares. However, another elegant way to do it is using list comprehension. List comprehension requires that you specify the expression within the square brackets of the list. The square bracket indicates that whatever elements you generate using list comprehension become part of another list, which is the result of this operation. It also helps to understand list comprehension if we read this from the right to the left. First, we want to iterate through every x in some list. For x in some numbers, x will take on the value of every element in the sum numbers list. Read further to the left, we want to find the value of x raised to the power 2 for every x in some numbers, which means this list will contain the squares of all numbers which are present in the sum numbers list, and that is indeed the case. 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, and so on. If you want to generate a list of all numbers from 1 to 10, you can use list comprehension for this as well. Notice the outer square brackets. Then you want the list to be made up of num, where num is in range of 11. Once again, read from the right to the left to understand list comprehension. For every number in the range 11, these include numbers starting from 0 and going up to 10. The number 11 is not included. We want the list to be created from all of these numbers in this range, and that is our resultant list. All numbers from 0 up till 10. As you can see, list comprehension allows you to use for loops to generate lists. You can also use nested for loops as well. Let's set up two lists to see how we can use the nested for loop in list comprehension. We have a list of colors and we have a list of things: house, car, and tree. Here is how we can generate a list where every element in the list is a tuple. This tuple is made up of two fields, T and C. T is a thing and C is a color. Notice the nested for loop here for T in things, for C in colors. This will generate every pair of thing and color from the two lists. Let's view the resultant pair list. We have a red house, a green house, a yellow house, and a blue house. And the same thing for car and tree as well. List comprehension can contain conditional statements as well. This is a list of numbers called sum numbers, and I want to use list comprehension to include only those numbers from this list where the number is greater than 50. We've accomplished exactly this using a lambda function and the filter method. This time we'll do it using list comprehension. We'll store the result in a variable numbers over 50, and we want to include all those x's where x is in some numbers only if x is greater than 50. So we have the for loop as before for x in some numbers, but that x is included in the final list only if it's greater than 50. The result of this statement will be all numbers from the original sum numbers list which are greater than 50. Just three of them here: 63, 84, and 96. Here is another example of list comprehension using a condition. This time we'll use the pairs list that we generated earlier using list comprehension. So now we have a list of pairs where the first field in the pair is a thing and the second field is a color. We want to find all of the red things in this list of pairs. We have the for loop for pair in pairs, which will iterate through every element in the pairs list. Every element is a tuple. We only include that element in the final list if the second field in the tuple is red, only if the color is red. That is, pair of 1 is equal to red. And if you print out the results, red things, notice that we have a red house, a red car, and a red tree.